Day 253, Exile, Jeremiah 45 through 46, Lamentations 1, Proverbs 17 verses 21 through 28. Let's begin. Jeremiah 45:46. The word that Jeremiah the prophet spoke to Baruch, the son of Neriah, when he had written these words in a book, from the mouth of Jeremiah, in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, the king of Judah, saying, Thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, to you, Baruch. You have said, Woe to me, a wretched man! For the Lord has added sorrow to my sorrow. I have labored in my groaning, and I have not found rest. Thus says the Lord, so shall you say to him, Behold, those whom I have built up, I destroy, and those whom I have planted, I uproot, even this entire land. And are you seeking great things for yourself? Do not choose to seek them. For behold, I will lead evil over all that is flesh, says the Lord. But I will give your life to you unto salvation, in every place, wherever you may travel. The word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah the prophet against the Gentiles. About Egypt, against the army of Pharaoh Necho, the king of Egypt, which was beside the river Euphrates at Carchemish, which Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, struck down, in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, the king of Judah. Prepare the heavy and the light shield, and advance to war. Harness the horses, and let the horsemen climb upon them. Stand forth with helmets. Sharpen the lances. Clothe yourselves in armor. And what is next? I have seen them terrified, and turning their backs, their strong ones cut down. They have fled in disorder, and have not looked back. Terror on every side, says the Lord. Let not the swift take flight, let not the strong ones think to save themselves. They have been conquered and ruined, toward the north, near the river Euphrates. Who is this, who ascends like a flood, and whose streams swell up, like those of the rivers? Egypt ascends in the form of a river, and its waves will be moved like those of a river. And he will say, I will ascend and cover the earth. I will perish the city and its inhabitants. Mount the horses, and exult upon chariots, and let the strong ones advance, the Ethiopians, and the Libyans, who hold the heavy shield, and the Lydians, who grasp and shoot arrows. For this is the day of the Lord, the God of hosts, a day of vengeance, so that he may vindicate himself of his enemies. The sword will devour, and be satiated, and be inebriated with their blood. For there is a victim of the Lord, the God of hosts, in the land of the north, beside the river Euphrates. Ascend to Gilead, and take its balm, O virgin daughter of Egypt. It is in vain that you multiply medicines, there will be no health for you. The nations have heard of your disgrace, and your wailing has filled the earth. For the strong have stumbled against the strong, and both have fallen together. The word that the Lord spoke to Jeremiah the prophet, concerning how Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, would arrive and strike the land of Egypt. Announce it to Egypt, and make it heard in Migdol, and let it resonate in Memphis and in Tahpanhes. Say this, stand and prepare yourself. For the sword will devour everything around you. Why have your strong ones decayed? They have not stood firm, because the Lord has overthrown them. He has multiplied those in ruin, and each man has fallen beside his neighbor. And they will say, Rise up, and let us return to our own people and to the land of our nativity, away from the face of the sword of the dove. Call the name of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. Time has brought tumult. As I live, says the king, whose name is the Lord of hosts, just as Tabor is among the mountains, and just as Carmel is beside the sea, so will he come. Equip yourself for the transmigration, O daughter who inhabits Egypt. For Memphis will be in desolation, and it will be deserted and uninhabited. Egypt is like a stately and finely formed calf. The one who will goad her will come from the north. Her hired hands also, who move within her midst, like fatted calves have been turned back, and they have fled at the same time, and they are not able to stand firm. For the day of their passing away has overwhelmed them, it is the time of their visitation. Her voice will sound out like brass. For they will rush forward with an army, and with axes they will come against her, like those who chop wood. They have cut down her forests, says the Lord, which was not able to be counted. They have been multiplied more than locusts, and they are without number. The daughter of Egypt has been confounded, and she has been delivered into the hand of the people of the north. The Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, said, Behold, I will visit against the tumult of Alexandria, and against Pharaoh, and against Egypt, and against her gods, and against her kings, and against Pharaoh, and against those who trust in him. And I will give them over to the hand of those who seek their lives, and into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, and into the hand of his servants. And after this, it shall be inhabited, just as in the former days, says the Lord. And as for you, my servant Jacob, you should not be afraid, and you should not dread, O Israel. For behold, I will bring your salvation from afar, and your offspring from the land of your captivity. And Jacob will return and have rest, and he will prosper. And there will be no one who may terrify him. And as for you, my servant Jacob, do not be afraid, says the Lord. For I am with you. For I will consume all the nations to which I have cast you out. Yet truly, I will not consume you. Instead, I will chastise you in judgment, but neither will I spare you, as if you were innocent. Lamentations 1. Aleph. Oh, how a city once filled with people now sits alone. The governess of the Gentiles has become like a widow. The prince of the provinces has been placed under tribute. Beth. Weeping, she has wept through the night, and her tears are on her cheeks. There is no one to be a comfort to her, and to all her beloved. All her friends have spurned her, and they have become her enemies. Gimel. Judah has migrated because of affliction and great servitude. She has lived among the nations and not found rest. All of her persecutors have apprehended her, amid torments. Daleth. The pathways of Zion mourn, because there are none who approach for the solemnity. All her gates are destroyed. Her priests groan. Her virgins are filthy. And she is overwhelmed with bitterness. Her enemies have been made her leaders, her adversaries have been enriched. For the Lord has spoken against her, because of the multitude of her iniquities. Her little ones have been led into captivity before the face of the tribulator. Vav. And all her elegance has departed from the daughter of Zion. Her leaders have become like rams that cannot find pasture, and they have gone away without strength before the face of the pursuer. Zain. Jerusalem has remembered the days of her affliction and the betrayal of all her desirable ones, whom she held from the days of antiquity, when her people fell into the hand of the enemy, and there was no one to be a helper. The enemies have looked upon her and mocked her Sabbaths. Hate. Jerusalem has sinned a grievous sin. Because of this, she has become unstable. All who glorified her have spurned her, because they have looked upon her disgrace. Then she groaned and turned away again. Taith. Her filth is on her feet, and her end has not been remembered. She has been vehemently put down, having no consolation. O Lord, look upon my affliction, for the adversary has been lifted up. JD. The enemy has sent his hand against all her desirable ones. For she has watched the Gentiles enter her sanctuary, even though you instructed that they should not enter into your church. CPH. All her people are groaning and seeking bread. They have given up whatever was precious in exchange for food, so as to remain alive. See, O Lord, and consider, for I have become vile. Lamed. O all you who pass by the way, attend, and see if there is any sorrow like my sorrow. For he has made me a vintage, just as the Lord has spoken in the day of his furious anger. From on high, he has sent fire into my bones, and he has educated me. He has spread a net for my feet, he has turned me back. He has placed me in desolation, consumed by grief, all day long. None. Vigilant is the yoke of my iniquities. They have been folded together in his hand and imposed on my neck. My virtue has been weakened. The Lord has given me into a hand, out of which I am not able to rise. Samek. The Lord has taken away all of my great ones from my midst. He has called forth time against me, so as to crush my elect ones. The Lord has trampled the winepress, which was for the virgin daughter of Judah. Ain. For this I weep, and my eyes bring forth water. For the Consoler has been far away from me, changing my soul. My sons have become lost, because the enemy has prevailed. Phe. Zion has reached out her hands, there is no one to console her. The Lord has given orders against Jacob, his enemies are all around him. Jerusalem among them is like a woman made unclean by menstruation. Sod. The Lord is just, for it is I who has provoked his mouth to wrath. I beg all people to listen and to see my sorrow. My virgins and my youths have gone into captivity. Cph. I called for my friends, but they deceived me. My priests and my elders have been consumed in the city. For they were seeking their food, so as to revive their life. Res. See, O Lord, that I am in tribulation. My bowels have been disturbed, my heart has been subverted within me, for I am filled with bitterness. Outside, the sword puts to death, and at home there is a similar death. Sin. They have heard that I groan and that there is no one to console me. All my enemies have heard of my misfortune, they have rejoiced that you caused it. You have brought in a day of consolation, and so they shall become like me. Thou. Let all their evil enter before you. And make vintage of them, just as you made vintage of me, because of all my iniquities. For my sighs are many, and my heart is grieving. Proverbs 17 verses 21 through 28. A foolish one is born into his own disgrace. But his father will not rejoice in one who is senseless. A joyful soul makes a lifetime flourish. A gloomy spirit dries out the bones. The impious receives gifts from the bosom, so that he may pervert the paths of judgment. Prudence shines from the face of the wise. The eyes of the foolish are on the ends of the earth. A foolish son is the anger of the father, and the grief of the mother who conceived him. It is not good to inflict damage on the just, nor to strike the leader who judges uprightly. Whoever moderates his words is learned and prudent. And a man of learning has a precious spirit. If he would remain silent, even the foolish would be considered wise, and if he closes his lips, intelligent.